Good morning. It is 8:30 a.m. on Saturday, the 4th of July, 2020. I'm Christiana Ellison. I sort of just got up. I actually was just playing video games. This is 5 more minutes. So I woke up and decided that it might be nice to sort of gently wake myself up with some Animal Crossing, and then I put on Hollow Knight instead, and I've been trying really hard over and over again to beat this really hard section, which it's kind of a Metroidvania if you haven't seen it. So it's a platforming section that I'm having trouble with. And so that's got me all kind of worked up and irritated. Maybe the right mood for 4th of July? I don't know. It's hard to feel good about politics right now. Um, I mean, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that too much. One of the things that I'll sort of tangentially talk about, though, is the 4th of July and what that means to me now. Because, growing up, definitely it was a big Isn't America Great party. That's how I always saw it. That's how I felt about it. Certainly how I was taught in school and all of that sort of thing. Um, and I think that there remains a lot of great things about the United States. But given that the conversation lately, there's a lot of focus on the idea of tearing down our history and the idea there are people who are mad because of people wanting to take down statues and stuff like that. And this is all it's very frustrating to me, but newly so. And new is relative. The thing is, I remember being in school and having the occasional uh, more political kid try to tell me things about history, like the darker side of American history. And I definitely had a resistance to that message because it's like it's not fun to think about, for one. Um, and it also, there's just this knee jerk instinct when you've been told all your life, like, oh, but sure, America has its problems, but we're, the best out there. No one else is doing it better than us. And it's like, well, I mean, yeah, everywhere's got their problems. But the idea that you can't praise the good things unless there are no bad things in the conversation is like, I don't know. Here's where I'm coming down. I think by and large, if we were going to take down all of the statues of slaveholders and Confederate war generals and that sort of thing, like if we were going to just take those down in an organized, legal way with voting and so on, then great. And I'm not necessarily supporting people doing it with vandalism, but I get it because the truth is that it doesn't, in most of these places that have it, it does not happen otherwise, right? It takes the threat of something like this or the notoriety and publicity that comes from stuff like this to get people to that point sometimes when they have that resistance. Like, it was like me, in high school being told, a lot of the founding fathers had slaves. There's a lot of, ways that the United States government really was kind of monstrous to Native Americans. Stuff like that. It's like there was a part of me that wanted that to not be true. And so emotionally, I sort of would insist that it's not true. Can't be true because I don't want it to be true. And it took a long time for me to sort of move to the point where I had to start saying, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't erase that there are some good things about the United States, but you know what? When we talk about the things that are good, maybe we should not erase the things that aren't. And um, in particular, if there's a okay, I don't know. I'm the thing is I wasn't actually planning to talk about this today, so I don't have my thoughts organized in a coherent way, and maybe that I ideally it's not great to talk about controversial subjects without organizing your thoughts first, just because it's easy to be misinterpreted. So I guess here's what I'll come back to on today, Independence Day, the 4th of July. By and large, I do like the United States of America. They do a lot of awful stuff also, and I believe fully now, although it took me a while to get here, that part of being patriotic is being willing to admit where the failings have been and willing to participate in a process to do better rather than just pretend nothing bad ever happened. And maybe doing better includes not having statues that glorify the worst parts of our history. I'll leave it there for today, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes. It'll be Sunday, so I will be continuing my rewatch of Legend of Korra with Season 2, Episode 2, The Southern Lights. All right, that's it for now.